Hi everybody, I hope everyone's doing well today. I thought I'd come and show you how I did these pages, how I made them so burnt looking on the edges. So I have pages like that, and I have pages like this, and like this, and like this. I love this one. Here's one where I tore off the edges. So anyway, I think they're really cool, and I thought I'd tell you how I got this look. So anyway, my pages, let's put these aside. Here's some more. Aren't they cool? I just love them. So I'm going to have to explain to you how I get to this stage here. This is what my pages look like when they come out of the oven. And some wonder how I get this dark, get my pages this dark. And a lot of people think that you can just put in, make your coffee darker and you'll get darker pages. That doesn't work. You have to actually let your coffee cook. And what I mean by that is, well, the way I do it, I drink coffee, so I'll make enough coffee. I drink 2 cups in the morning. So I'll drink my 2 cups and I'll make a full pot. So I'll drink my 2 cups and then I will let the rest of the coffee cook the rest of the day. In other words, I don't turn the coffee pot off. I just let it sit there on the heating pad of the coffee maker and cook the rest of the day. All day long I will let it cook. And you have to make sure though that when you do that, there's enough coffee in there that it doesn't burn. So if you've got just, that much coffee in there, it might all evaporate and it might start burning, and you don't want to do that. You want to make sure there's plenty of coffee in there that it's not going to evaporate and burn. So you want, I'd say, at least that much in there. So, but I make a full pot, I drink my 2 cups, and I've got probably that much in there. And I'll do that for a couple of days in a row, 2 or 3 days in a row, until I've got plenty of coffee to work with. And I put it in a 9 by 12 pan, and then I dunk my paper, in the pan, let it soak for 5 minutes. Then I put it on a cookie sheet. I scratch these holes. While it's wet, I scratch these holes in the paper, put it in the oven on 200 and let it bake. And they're nice and crinkly. Love that sound. And then when I take them out, I got another one soaking, by the way, while this one's baking. So it takes about 5 minutes for them to dry. It takes mine 4 to 5 minutes for them to dry. And so while this one's drying, I've got another one soaking. So just keep them rotated. So anyway, when this one comes out of the oven, I'll take my fingers and dip it in the coffee pan, the wet coffee, and then splatter it with my fingers. All these little splatters. And then I'll take my heat gun and I'll dry these splatters. And that's how I get the splatters, like this. You can't do that in the oven. I've tried putting the paper on the pan and splattering it before I put it in the oven. It won't work. You have to wait until it dries, take it out, splatter it, and then dry it with a heat gun. And then you'll get these watermarks. So that's how I get to this point and how I get it this dark. Okay, then how I color it. All right. I'm not going to color this one. I'm going to color one of these pieces. It's a book page. I think the book pages are really neat. I did the same way. This one's got watermarks on it. You just can't see it as much because of the text, but it's got watermarks on it. I don't know if you can see it or not. I hope you can. And I'm going to tear off the edges. And I'm just going to tear it just, randomly. And I think I'll tear it like it's been burnt up the side. And then I'm going to tear it all the way around. Maybe a little straighter. Tear this in a corner and around. And so that's how I want my page to be. Like it's the fire started on this side and burned up and kind of around maybe. So that's my idea anyway. I start with Vintage Photo, Distress ink, ink up my pad, and I go all the way in, just lightly all the way in. I want it all over my paper. It gives it like it's, how do I put it? Kind of like it's the smoke got to it. Now that looks like the smoke got to it. A few sections of it, right? Okay, so then the smoke got to it there. Then I'm going to go to Walnut Stain. And this is going to make it look like it's starting to get charred. The edges are getting charred now. And I want this side a little bit darker because this is where the fire started, was over here on this side. So I'm going to make this side darker. And maybe not so dark up here. All the way around. See how it's darker on this side now? And that was, I did say Walnut Stain, didn't I? Okay. So then we're going to go with Black Soot, and this is what really makes it look burnt. I really get messy with this. And we're going to just go the edges just like this. Just the edges of the paper. You don't want to go in. You just want the very edges. And it's okay if it goes in like 1/4 of an inch or something. That's okay. And it will, because the pages, especially when you tear them, they're so fragile. See how they bend over? That's okay if it goes in 1/4 of an inch or so. That's alright. Because sometimes when it's burnt like that, it does. And then sometimes it doesn't. See, it didn't there, and it did there. And that's okay. It makes it look more natural. Now, my fire, it did get burnt all the way around, so I'm going to go all the way around, but very lightly. I'm going to go really lightly all the way around. I'm going to go heavy down here. And there you have it. A very charred, burnt piece of paper. Easy peasy. Anybody can do it. I hope you'll give it a try. And it's a lot of fun. And I'm thinking about doing a whole journal with nothing but these burnt pages in it. And maybe some other old pages that I coffee dye and stuff. But I just think that will make a beautiful journal and make it out of a cereal box and make it look like leather on the outside with all these pages on the inside. I just all folded in half. And I think I'll do the other side. I'll show you again real quick. This side is not as dark. You know, one side of the paper never turns out as dark as the other side. And I don't understand that, because it should. I mean, both sides are getting cooked. Both sides get dipped. It doesn't have a sealer on either side of the paper, for crying out loud. So I don't understand why one side of the paper always turns out lighter than the other when you cook them in the oven. But they do. One side will always be lighter. The side that's down in the pan. And that's the side that would seem to get hotter, right? But that's the way it goes. That was Vintage Photo, and I went all over again. Now we're going to go back with our Walnut Stain. And we're going to go pin on the edges, about a good 1/2 inch or more. Just like this. I've got kind of a line there. I'm going to see if I can get that line out a little bit. Didn't do too good with this one. I've got a line right there and I don't like that. Maybe I got a little bit of it out. Okay, that was our walnut stain. And then we're just going to do the very edges. And you can see some of that black soot on the other side. But we're going to go around it this side a little bit too. Don't take much on this side. I hope you can see me. I hope I'm not out of frame. Oh no. I hope I wasn't out of frame. I'm sorry. I have a habit of pulling it close to me, don't I? Okay, there you go. That's that side. Now both sides. That way when I put them in my book and I fold it, both sides will be burnt. Give it a try. Let me know if you try it and how you like it. Thanks for watching.